Hello, my name is Jack Stevens and I'm the director of Two Across, written by Jerry Meyer, and with Jack Parry playing Josh and Carol MacAlister playing Janet. It's a witty little play about a couple that meet each other for the first time at the Bay Area Rapid Transit first stop in San Francisco Airport, taking the Blue Line all the way to the end of the line at Bay Point. Along the way, a crossword puzzle helps them negotiate through their own struggles with life and a little bit about themselves, with some secrets thrown in there for spice and fun. So on behalf of Pelican players at Sun City Center, please enjoy Two Across.
Good morning. It is now 4:12 a.m. on the Bay Area Rapid Transit's early morning service from San Francisco International Airport to East Bay. Final stop, Bay Point. Now leaving.
Don't close, don't close, don't close! Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
I see we're both doing the New York Times Saturday crossword. I can't even finish Monday, and it gets tougher every day until Sadistic Saturday. I wonder, could I ask you a tiny favor?
What?
Would you mind switching seats? Anywhere you'd like, but you're in my lucky seat. I mean, third from the map, fifth from the rear door. I got half my crossword done sitting there on my trip out. It's my lucky seat.
You realize, of course, it's a different train. Therefore, a different seat. Okay.
Well, obviously you're right, but thanks for humoring me. Here, you could sit back here. This seat, it's nice and clean. It's got an excellent view, and it's a nice shade of blue. It matches your outfit. Or you could sit across from me, drooling crosswords.
This will be fine.
Great. Thanks. And feel totally relaxed. You know, I may be superstitious, but other than that, I'm harmless.
No problem. I always feel relaxed.
What's that?
Mace.
The can says intimate styling mousse.
Shit. Mace.
Smart. Isn't that nice riding this early? I mean, total privacy.
Yes, and if you don't mind, I am right at a moment of truth here.
Got it. I know that moment of battling for those final few words that can mean the difference between triumph or the shame of calling the 900 number for help. You call often?
I have never called the 900 number.
Well, neither have I. I mean, they charge $1.20 a minute. That's almost $75 an hour. That's extortion.
Look, I don't mean to be rude, but I've had a really long day and an even longer night, and all I want to do is concentrate on my crossword, okay?
Boy, do I know how you feel. Thanks for your honesty. You know, sometimes the last thing a person needs is small talk. Ooh, all right, the enemy awaits.
Do you mind?
Well, I didn't mean to disturb you. I was just taking a little peek.
If you're going to cheat, why bother?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it cheating.
What would you call it?
Fear of flunking? An old college joke. Look, I could tell that you're definitely a heavy hitter at this, and I'm just sandlot. But I won't peek anymore. But can I ask you one question?
Okay, what?
Okay, see, I'm having trouble with one down, one across. I've got one down, which is a sermon ender in 4 letters, which of course is amen. Then I'm looking at one across, and it's supposed to be a saint's first name in 3 letters. Well, I take the A from amen, it should be N, right? But then I have 2 down, and it's a long trip, voyage, right? So now that makes it Ava, and Ava just doesn't sound very saintly to me. But then again, I'm not Catholic. Are you?
That is something I consider private.
Oh, of course, of course. I'll honor that. Whatever a person is no big deal. I happen to be Jewish. Not that that's important.
True. Will you excuse me?
Sure, go ahead. I'll just go with my gut instinct on this. Catholics have so many saints, I'm sure there's a Saint Ava around somewhere.
No, there isn't a Saint Ava around anywhere, nor is there a Saint Oprah. Take it from a Catholic, okay?
Got it. All right, that doesn't work then.
The problem is you don't work. You don't pay attention. You don't commit. You just flit along the surface.
Gee, I've never been called a flitter before. But you're right, I do flit. I always thought flitting was half the fun. I never considered crosswords a life or death struggle.
Well, maybe you should. Then you might catch some of your mistakes.
Oh, I've made mistakes?
Bingo.
You're one of those people that say bingo when you're not playing bingo.
I thought it was more polite than saying duh. Pardon my frankness, but it upsets me when people do crosswords the way you do. You miss out on the real enjoyment and end up feeling frustrated and incompetent.
Exactly. And you can change all that by giving me one tiny hint.
All right, so long as you face the fact that when you finish, you will have a hollow victory.
No problem. I never finish.
And you accept that. All right. One down. Sermon ender. The answer is not amen.
What? It's gotta be. It's the right amount of letters, 4, and when a sermon ends, people say amen. I mean, Catholics do it, Jews do it, even educated fleas do it.
But amen gives you Saint Ava. A nun would clobber you for that. Look, one down says sermon ender. Didn't you notice there's a question mark at the end?
Yeah, look at that cute little question mark.
That means that the puzzle writer is throwing you a curve. You have to think harder.
But why? I've already got the answer. Amen.
But it doesn't cross-check. The golden rule for the beginner is exactness is everything.
So what makes you think I'm a beginner?
That pencil you're using says it.
All right, now what's wrong with pencils?
They have erasers to correct beginners' mistakes.
All right, now I'm an official member of the Pen Snobs of America. But I still say the answer is amen.
No, it isn't. Look, you asked for my help. I'm giving it to you.
I don't want it anymore.
But you're stuck. This will unstick you.
Can't hear you, not listening.
Et.
What?
You heard me. E-T-T-E. Et.
Et?
Sermon ender. In other words, when you end a sermon with et, you have sermonette. And et works both down and across.
You son of a bitch.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. No, the SOB's not you. It's Will Shorts, the guy that runs this puzzle. If it was you, I would have said daughter, not son. Exactness is everything.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah, look at this putz, Shorts. Gives himself a byline yet. Look, edited by Will Shorts. Like he's Ernest Hemingway or something. All he is an evil little twerp trying to mess up my brain.
Mr. Shorts is a little late for that. Oh, I'm sorry. That was too easy.
No, you're good. All right, I will accept et. But that means I no longer have Ava. Now I have Eva.
That's right.
Are you telling me there's a Saint Eva?
No, I am telling you to think.
All right. I think I need another hint.
You won't even try. Okay. On the waterfront.
You call that a hint? All right. All I'm thinking about is Marlon Brando. And I really don't see what he has to... Wait. Eva Marie Saint. Yes! Yes!
Congratulations. Now, don't you feel proud of yourself?
No, not really. I mean, you gave me the answer. I feel like Blanche Dubois. I've always depended on the kindness of strangers. Well, bye-bye, Mr. Shorts. It's time for my sports page.
What are you doing besides littering?
I am doing something manly. I'm reading the sports page.
Then why buy the New York Times?
Well, I'm kind of a split personality. I'm half a Yankees fan, half masochist.
Let me see that.
Now approaching Daly City Station.
Well, you have it almost half finished. You're doing fine. Well, except for this. And this. And how could you possibly... Well, all right, maybe you've made some mistakes, but you're not going to let Will Shorts beat you.
Why not? When you fail against the best, it's not really failing.
The hell it isn't. Don't roll over. Try harder.
Well, I do try hard, but every time I get halfway through the puzzle, the Marquis de Shorts turns up the torture, and then I know it's time for my sports page. And, you know, who gives a damn whether a crossword gets finished or not?
I do.
What? You really hate sports, don't you?
No, I hate apathy, and what you're doing is giving up, which is an awful habit. You're just slinking away from a simple challenge.
Yeah, that's me. First I flit, then I slink.
Exactly, which means you're showing zero character.
Now, just a minute, Miss. How can you make a permanent judgment on somebody's character when you've only known me for less
Oh,
than...
easy. I judge their actions. And yours are quitting when you should be standing up and fighting.
True. But remember, I have zero character, and it's very difficult to stand up when you're spineless!
Oh, my God. What am I doing? Forgive me. I have no right to judge your character. You're just fine. Here. Read your earned run averages.
Well, I'm sorry if I upset you.
No, it's not you at all. It's me.
No, it's definitely me. I must have interrupted your moments of truth.
It's nothing you did. I just haven't recovered from a really negative trip to the airport.
That's too bad. Would you like to talk about it?
Not really.
Are you sure? Sometimes it helps to unload your frustrations on a train to a perfect stranger.
I don't unload frustrations. I deal with them.
I'd bet on it.
I'm worried about my son.
Damn. I'm sorry. Is it serious?
Yes, it is. Thank you for your concern.
Wait, you just can't tell a person that you're worried about your son and then not tell them why, especially a Jewish person. He's not sick, God forbid.
No, I assure you he's healthy. And that's it, okay?
Actually, it's not okay. Unless you don't care if I'm up all night long worrying about... Well, can I even ask your son's name?
Brian.
Brian. All right, there's a start. Can you tell me how old Brian is?
He's 18.
18. Oi, that's the age. So are we talking misdemeanor or felony?
Neither. He's never been arrested.
Okay, but you're worried. He's not in any danger.
Yes, he is. Or he might be. It's all I can think about, and I'm trying not to.
All right. I'm backing off. I'll leave you alone.
Brian's 18th birthday was last week. And to celebrate, he joined the Marines.
Oi.
Plus, he dropped out of high school to do it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
In about an hour from now at 5:30, he's flying off to Paris Island Marine Base for basic training, and I'm so scared.
I can't blame you.
I tried to talk him out of leaving school, but quitting's always been his pattern. He quit piano lessons at 9, Camp Thundercloud at 12. The only thing he hasn't quit is pot. He's devoted to that.
Well, he sounds a lot like me at that age. You're just so damn unsure of yourself. He probably fell for that Marine commercial, the few, the proud.
No, it wasn't any commercial. It was his accident. He totaled my car last week. That's why I'm on the train. Thank God he wasn't hurt.
Yeah, you might be right. He probably joined up to avoid the guilt.
Yes, I know something about guilt. I'm a psychologist.
Aha! I mean, oh, really? I just noticed that you were wearing exactly what you should be wearing, and lovely.
Thanks. I didn't have time to change. I rushed home to help Brian pack. He forgot to put in socks and underwear. And then rushed to the airport, where I spent an hour at Starbucks at Terminal 3 trying to get him to change his mind. Finally, I stood up, hugged him, told him I loved him, and left, leaving behind an untouched turkey sandwich. I'm not just frustrated, I'm starved.
I'll bet you are. Oh, and I can help you with that. You see, I can only eat half of this barbecue pork sandwich. Here.
You can't be serious.
What? Oh, the pork! I laugh at dietary laws.
I'm talking about train laws. Eating and/or drinking is prohibited.
Are you nuts? It's 4:28 in the morning. Who's around to care?
I am. By getting on this train, I agreed to obey the rules.
Heavens, didn't mean to turn this into a crime scene. All right, I know it's none of my business, but do you mind if I offer an opinion?
I suppose so.
All right? Brian seems to be rebelling against what he feels is too much hands-on parenting. That's my dad's specialty.
Parenting is what parents are supposed to do.
I know, but it's kind of hard to take when you're 18. You take on some kind of a strange mashugana factor. Oh, I can explain that.
Oh, you don't have to. Half of my patients are Mashugana. I mean Jewish. So, I've picked up some of the terms like Mashugana, mensch, schlep, goy, kvetch, chutzpah, shiksa, Schlemiel.
Mazel.
Schlemazel. Hassenpfeffer Incorporated.
I am impressed. Congratulations.
Well, you mean Mazel Tov.
Exactly. Well, I bet you make a great psychologist. You know that?
Why, thanks. I think I've helped quite a few patients on the road to menschhood.
And some of us actually make it.
And some of you are menschhood challenged.
Well, I can relate to Brian. I didn't quit high school, but my first year at Berkeley, 19, I did something that drove my dad nuts. I quit college to become an actor.
Oh, that's as bad as the Marines.
Oh, worse! worse, but I always thought that I was the Jewish Al Pacino. And for 3 years, nothing mattered to me but the work. Well, one night, I was doing this cheapo version of Julius Caesar in a small rundown storefront theater, and I was about to do my big speech when I noticed that there were more people on the stage, 6, than there were in the audience, 2. So I took the stage and said, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, both of you, lend me your ears, all 4 of them. I have come to bury Caesar and my acting career." Shh. Curtain, the end of that dream. So I exited the stage and I entered real life working for my dad. Wow, talk about out of the frying pan into the pressure cooker.
And you also got married. I noticed your ring.
Oh, yeah. I noticed yours as well.
Any children?
No, it's just Susie and me. You have any other kids?
No, just Brian. I want to thank you for sharing your history. Gives me hope. If you made it through your growing pains, maybe Brian will too.
I'm sure Brian will do just fine.
Oh, I hope you're right.
I know I'm right.
So, what do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm unemployed.
You're unemployed. You're out of work.
Yeah, I'm a total bum.
Sorry, I was surprised.
Yeah, so was my father.
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. A few years ago, I quit working for my dad's business after almost 30 years in the button business.
The button business?
Yeah, I know it sounds boring, but it's really not. The business has been in my family since the gold rush days. My dad's factory makes buttons for Levi Strauss and Ralph Lauren. Oh, here, this brass eagle button dates back to the Civil War. My great-great-great-grandfather designed it. It's not so much a button, it's a sculpture.
Well, it certainly is. You say you just quit? Why?
My dad, he really pushed my buttons.
So you just left after 30 years working with your father. Too bad. He must be what, late 60s?
Thank you for that. He's almost 80.
A shame you left. You'd think he'd be ready for you to take over.
Yeah, you think so, but old Iron Fist didn't see it that way.
Iron Fist? He's violent?
Oh, no. That's just some shtick he came up with when I was a kid. He called his right hand his Iron Fist, and he'd clench it. And he challenged me to open it, and I'd try, and I'd try. No luck. We laugh about it, but it stopped being funny when I realized he treated his business the same way.
I know. Family businesses can be pretty stressful environments. I've refereed a few.
I mean, he meant well. 160 years, from father to son, from father to son. But you know, for that to work, the father's got to loosen his grip and listen to his son once in a while.
Sons, no matter what age, often feel like they're teenagers being grounded.
So, I quit. Walked out, got a job at an online clothing company called Peace in the Valley. Well, it went okay for a few years until the internet hit the fan and I was downsized out.
So how long have you been out of work?
Oh, not too long. About 18 months.
18 months?
Yeah. Surprised again?
Yeah. Sorry. Again. Well, what do you do with your time when you're not out interviewing?
I keep busy. I volunteer a few days a week at the Oakland City Jail for Juveniles. Yeah, I teach speed typing to tough little peckers. Well, hunted peckers, so they can get a better job when they get out.
How admirable. I hope your delinquents appreciate you.
Well, I don't want to appear immodest, but I am loved.
I'll bet. So with all this good work, how do you provide at home?
Well, let's see. I teach people who are too old to work their computers how to work their computers. I get about $40 an hour, which just about covers my Valium. Yeah. And I do a few temp jobs here and there. I just got off my midnight shift at the airport. I am a computer maven at the International Air Terminal on Christian holidays.
Really? Oh, that's right. Yesterday was Good Friday.
Yeah, when people of your faith want to go to church to hear their sermonette, people of my faith take over. I call our group the Jew Crew. We've even got a motto: when Christ calls, call us. But all that comes to an end this Tuesday.
Well, what happens on Tuesday?
I've got an interview for the VP position in advertising at Banana Republic. I got this one in my hip pocket.
Good. So you've studied the company, researched Banana Republic from top to bottom?
Yeah. I buy all my pants there.
You know something? I've got a great idea. It might just land you that job at Banana Republic, but we need enough time. What's your stop?
The last one, Bay Point.
Oh, mine too. I just know this is going to work. You will be hired on the spot. That's how sharp and sure of yourself you're going to be.
As opposed to how I am right now?
Well, now let's just say you're a little loosey-goosey.
Okay. Are you planning on tightening my goosey?
And sharpening your focus. So when Banana's personnel director meets you, he will know you're the man.
All right. And just how exactly do I become the man?
Oh, it's very simple. All you have to do is finish your crossword by the time we reach Bay Point.
Like, I need this.
I'm serious. Crosswords don't just expand your knowledge, but they sharpen focus and memory. And studies show that doing crosswords in your later years can fight off dementia.
Or cause it.
Most of all, it will give you the confidence that you can finish what you start. That's what's going to get you hired at Banana Republic.
That's interesting. Can I ask you one simple question?
Sure, go ahead.
Can psychologists be sued for malpractice?
I don't believe you. Your ship is sinking. I try to throw you a lifeline, but you thumb your nose at me? You're just like Brian. Okay, I'll give you one last chance. Sports page? Crossword. You can read about jock straps or be hired by Banana Republic. Make a decision.
All right. All right. I'll do it. I'll do it for Brian.
Fine. Now let's fix 47 down.
All right. A nice one in 3 letters. I figured ace.
You figured. You've got to be sure.
Well, an ace is a one that gives you blackjack, and that's nice.
But it doesn't cross-check.
It can't do everything.
Remember, in crosswords, you have to think outside the box. Try to look at the word NICE in a different way.
All right. How's this? Oh, wait. Okay, I got it. It could be a Nice one. That city in France, right? So that means that Shorts the schmuck wants the number 1 in French.
Oui. You want my French dictionary?
Wait, you carry a French dictionary?
Yes, also a thesaurus and a world atlas. French dictionary.
No, actually, I don't need it. 1 in French is une. U-N-E. 3 letters.
Très bien, monsieur.
Yeah, you think that's bien. I can count all the way to 4 in French. Yeah, I learned that while doing the part of Javert, the villain in Les Mis. Jean Valjean, I shall give you until the count of trois to come out with your hands raised. Un, deux, trois. Don't make me say quatre.
Magnifique. Okay, 12 across, that's your next mistake.
Okay.
A knee bender in 7 letters. You said gorilla?
Yeah, gorilla. It's 7 letters. And I already had the LLA at the end. And who bends his knees when he walks? A gorilla.
So does Groucho. He won't cross-check either.
Now approaching Civic Center Station.
All right. So I made a small mistake.
There are no small mistakes, just mistakes.
I could be talking to my father. You're cuter.
All right, hint time. Let me show you something. Does this give you any thoughts?
A few?
Serious thoughts.
Yeah, you have no idea.
A knee bender. Notice I am patting my kneecap.
Okay. Patting. So it starts with patting and ends with la. Patting la. No. I see it now. It's one of those weird medical terms, isn't it? Patella.
Right.
Like the world needs another word for kneecap. Does your hubby do crosswords?
Nope.
He doesn't know what he's missing.
Believe me, Warren knows everything. Just ask him.
You know, I'd like that. What's up with Warren anyway?
What do you mean?
Well, Brian, he's crashing cars. He's quitting high school. He's joining the Marines. Where is Warren during all of this? Okay, like, why didn't he drive you to the airport?
That is not something I care to discuss with a perfect stranger.
Okay, did I forget to introduce myself? I'm so sorry. Hi, I'm Tom Hanks.
You're making me nervous.
Well, no, I don't mean to. I'm creating a comfort zone, totally anonymous. So, my nom de train is Tom. You could be his wife, Rita. She's beautiful. She's talented. It's perfect casting.
Oh, please.
So, you'll be Rita then?
I'll be Rita.
Good. All right, Rita. It's time for the rat to enter the maze.
What?
Well, it's your crossword theory. If I, the test rat, enter the maze and finish my crossword by the time we get to Bay Point and get a job at Banana Republic, you'll look brilliant. Maybe even brilliant enough to have your crossword theory published.
My God, you're right. I bet Psychology Today would jump at that story. Why, you are quick. Just like that, you saw commercial possibilities that I totally missed. Why can't I be clever and quick like you people?
Well, that would take about 5,000 years of being nudged and a long, hot schlep through an Egyptian desert.
I didn't mean you Jewish people. I meant you advertising people.
Right. Well, incidentally, you can feel free to pick this clever and creative ad man's brain anytime you want. Maybe over coffee.
Yes, sure. Warren would just love that. Why aren't you working on your puzzle?
Now approaching Embarcadero Station.
You want my dictionary?
No. Let's test my mettle. 2 across. Why don't you act out the hint? You know, like in charades.
But you're the actor, not me. Okay.
You're chewing. No, not chewing. Kissing. Okay, got it. But kiss is 4 letters, and Will wants the to be 6 letters and starts with an S. Okay, spoon. Smack. No, those are 5 letters. You know, you are very talented at this. Okay. Okay, smooch, 6 letters.
Took you long enough.
Well, I was just observing your lips. Very nice.
Wait a minute. You knew darn well that to osculate meant to kiss, didn't you?
Possibly.
You sneak. No wonder you never finish puzzles. You treat the whole thing like a game.
Oh, I forgot. Crosswords are rocket science.
You joke, but crosswords are a science. The way you do one reveals your character, or lack of it, like a Rorschach test.
Oh. What exactly have I revealed so far?
That you're obviously a charming, free spirit.
Thank you. I'm flattered.
Don't be. Charming, free spirits have their downside.
Oh?
I'm not surprised that your father had trouble working with you if he's organized and thorough. You have loose cannon written all over you.
Oh, is that so, Dad? That's exactly what he said when I walked out the door. You know what, though? I would much rather be a loose cannon than some bean-counting nitpicker.
Oh, and that would describe me too, right?
Well, yeah, if the nit fits.
Why don't you wake up and realize you free spirits aren't free at all? You're just prisoners of your own impulses.
Ah, the High Priestess of the Crossword Inquisition has spoken. Well, you know what? I am as impulsive as hell. So, screw this thing.
I knew you'd quit. For your information, crosswords are a metaphor for life, and the way when one gives up on puzzles, one gives up on the important things in life, too. I sure don't envy your wife.
Oh, so now you say I'm a lousy husband, too.
Bingo. And I didn't say it, your crossword did.
Well, you know what? I would like a second opinion from you, your shrinkness.
Forget about it, that would be totally unprofessional.
Fine. Where's my sports page?
Oh. Here it is. Enjoy it.
Wow, that was really professional.
All right. You want my opinion? You got it. But you'll have to answer some tough questions.
Fire away.
Before you were married to Susie, how long were the two of you going together exclusively?
You know, I really don't see what that has to do with anything.
The amount of foot dragging before commitment is key. Want to see my educated guess?
Sure. 6 years. Oh, okay, I get it. You're thinking Peter Pan syndrome.
Oh, you've heard of Peter Pan syndrome.
Oh, yeah. Failure to grow up, need for instant gratification, commitment to no commitment. What guy over the age of 9 who's not married hasn't been accused of that?
How many years before marriage, please?
Okay, a little over 5. We just wanted to make sure we were right for each other.
You mean you wanted to make sure Susie was good enough for you?
Yeah, isn't perfection in a wife something every guy seeks?
Absolutely, if he's a narcissist.
A narcissist? That's a joke. I don't even like looking in the mirror.
Of course. Narcissists are so picky, they're not even good enough for themselves. All right, question number 2. While you were going exclusively with Susie, how many times did you sleep with other women?
Oh, wait, 42 across. Peer group. Eyes. Okay, you ask me a question, and I'll answer you. Who can remember? Okay, you're in the ballpark.
I'm going to write down another word to describe you. In a crossword as a clue, it would be worst possible Husband in 9 letters.
Bill Clinton.
That's 11 letters.
Womanizer? Me? Thank you! I've been trying for all these years to become a womanizer. Women just wouldn't buy it.
You're not supposed to make your psychologist laugh. All right. Perhaps I was a bit rough on you. After all, you did marry Susie. That's a good sign. Peter Pan doesn't usually pull that off.
Yeah, maybe I'm not a total Peter after all. Well, I'm a different guy than I was back then, and Susie's a different girl. Back then, she didn't have much direction in her life. But since marriage, she's come back to school, earned a master's degree, and she's got a terrific job.
Good. You appreciate her. Perhaps you are approaching menschhood.
Thank you. All right, I've told you a little bit about my wife. Let's hear a smidge about your husband.
All right, a smidge. He's a successful contractor with strong opinions.
Which probably don't always line up with your strong opinions, right? Okay, what did Warren say when Brian joined the Marines?
It'll make a man of him.
Okay. All right. When Brian was having problems with pot, did Warren offer guidance? Ground the kid? Threaten to kick ass?
No, he's an executive. He delegates. That means I got to be good cop and bad cop. It gave us one less thing to argue about.
Are you really in love with this guy?
Nice try. Get back to your crossword.
Okay. By the way, have you finished?
Not quite. I've got Will Short's problems of my own, but I'll get 'em.
Oh, I have no doubt. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. Can I borrow your atlas?
Sure. Oh. Where is that damn atlas?
The sonnets of Petrarch? What's that doing in there?
Oh, a perfect example of the treasures one discovers doing crosswords. Last Sunday, New York Times, the clue was Petrarch's muse in 5 letters.
Laura, of course.
You know about Petrarch?
Only everything. I mean, besides speed typing, the best thing I learned in high school was the poetry of Francesco Petrarch. Well, he and Dante were the greatest poets of the Renaissance.
Well, I'd always heard of Petrarch, but that's why I took the book out of the library.
Now approaching West Oakland Station.
Did you read it?
Just a bit. Brian kept me too busy. And I have to admit, poetry's always been a bit esoteric for me.
Well, don't you have to return that to the library?
Yes, there's a waiting list, so I do have to return it.
Waiting list. Late fees are 25 cents a day. Here's 4 days.
That is not how I do things, Tom.
Well, how do you do things, Rita?
A library card is a contract. When there's a waiting list, you return the book on time and go to the end of the line.
Oh, so that's how common decency works. All right. Well, listen, Petrarch is just, he has defined love in a way that no other book ever has. I mean, Laura was his inspiration. They met in a cathedral in Avignon when he was 22 and she was 17. Laura was the loveliest woman he had ever seen. But he found out that she was married to some marquis, so all he could do was admire her from afar and suffer.
Well, that's sensible.
Yeah, Laura would haunt him for the rest of his life. Poor schlub, he never married. He wrote poem after poem of his unfulfilled love for 20 years. Then one day, Petrarch was plunged into despair. found out that Laura died. Black plague.
Oh, how terrible.
Yeah, she was only 38. Petrarch hit bottom. His sonnets changed from love to grief. Read them and you'll feel his loss. Listen, if you can't keep the book any longer, I'll give you a Petrarch sampler, all right? Picture Francesco Petrarch looking at Laura for the first time in the cathedral. She was a lot like you. She had great lips, and she was married. Okay, he's gazing at her in the cathedral, and he says, "If this be not love, then what is it?" Love placed me as a target for his arrow, and I melt like snow in the sunlight or wax in the fire. And I am hoarse, Laura, calling out for you to see me and merely smile. But you are indifferent. Laura, I have no defense against your beauty and sweet spirit. You are the breeze before which my life flies.
You're wonderful. I mean, your acting skills are wonderful. But get back to your crossword skills.
Yes, ma'am. All right. 117 across. Gumdrops. Oh, I've got it. Tears. How apropos. This brings me right back to Petrarch, his sad side, after he found out that Laura had died. What a grudge I am bearing the earth that has wrapped its arms around her and is keeping her face from me. What a grudge I am bearing the heavens that has shut her in its greediness. What a grudge I am bearing the saints who now share her sweet company that I have forever been seeking. What a grudge I am bearing death. What agony enduring a heartbreak that couldn't be fixed.
Yes. Death is so damn permanent, isn't it?
Oh, Rita, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about Brian. I just wasn't thinking. Listen, be positive about Brian. He'll be just fine.
If you say so, Tom.
I do. Positive thinking works. If you'll excuse me, I need to go make a phone call at the office.
Sure. Hi, Warren, it's me. I know you always screen your calls, so if you're listening, fine. And if you're not, I hope you check your messages before you tee off. It's 5 a.m. Saturday, and I just left Brian at the airport about to fly off to Parris Island Marine Base. Obviously, I couldn't talk him out of it. God knows I tried. Anyway, I'm sure you realize how important it is for you to write him a fatherly note today. His mailing address is Parris Island Boot Camp, South Carolina, 29905. Well, have a good golf game.
Everything okay, Rita?
Fine. But you know what? I'm tired of being Rita. Why not call me Janet?
Janet? Is that your real name?
Yes, but let's keep it to first names only, okay?
Sure, Janet. I feel trusted. Hi, I'm Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Well, Janet, now that we're practically old friends, I feel I can be honest with you. I'm a little stuck here.
Oh, no problem, Josh. That's when you dig in and go back to basics.
Basics? No, I wasn't talking.
No, there are answers right in front of your eyes. For example, most plurals end in S, so put in the S and then work across. And most past tense words end in ed, like walked or talked. Here's one. Put in the E and the D, and then work across.
Yeah, thanks. I needed that E for Beast of Borden. Elsie, of course. But what I meant was, I'm stuck because I'm having a hard time concentrating on anything other than Brian.
Join the club.
You know, Petrarch can sometimes help you find answers to things, like how to reopen slammed doors.
I didn't slam any doors.
Does Brian know that? You said you stormed out of Starbucks you were all angry and frustrated.
Believe me, Brian was as happy to see that conversation end as I was.
Well, I once read some wisdom. It was in a fortune cookie. It said, great opportunity often comes at the moment of defeat.
Josh, please, spare me the chop suey wisdom.
But you can turn defeat into victory. Oh, okay, don't answer if you don't want to. But I figured that piano lessons and Camp Thundercloud were your ideas, right?
Of course. If it were up to him, he'd do nothing.
Well, joining the Marines was his idea. What if you had said, if you insist on this, I'll support that decision. Just be careful and be the best Marine you can.
Or die trying?
I know. But, Janet, Brian's taking on a new mother, his drill sergeant. You can be his rooting section. He's got to know that his first adult decision is going to turn out well, even if that proves you wrong. Janet, please don't take that as an insult.
Oh, how else should I take it, Mr. Unemployed Advice Giver? As a matter of fact, I don't have to take it at all.
Wait, where are you going?
To any car but this one.
No, please, you have to stay. I did something that I think will help. My phone could be ringing any minute.
What are you talking about?
Well, that phone call I made was to my friend Leo at the airport. And I had him page Brian at Starbucks in Terminal 3.
You're out of your mind.
And check for any flights that are leaving for South Carolina in the next hour with a message for Brian to call the Marine Recruitment Center. My phone.
You nervy, meddlesome. What am I supposed to tell him? That I'm in his corner cheering him on for driving me crazy by quitting school and maybe getting himself killed?
God forbid! Bite your tongue! Why do Gentiles always tempt fate? I know. You think there's a heaven. Good luck! Good luck with that. Just knock on wood.
What wood? There is no wood.
Oh, here, use what's left of my pencil. Do it!
You're crazy.
Come on, knock on pencil! Thank you. It's Brian. Hello, Brian? Yes, you've got the right number. No, it's not the Marines. It's actually your mother. Yes, we're on the train, and she'd really like to speak with you. Yeah, hold on. It's for you.
Hi, honey. How are you doing? Good. Well, you know me. I'm just full of surprises. Oh, well, I'm glad too. Well, that's a good question. I guess I was already missing my Marine. No, I'm feeling fine. And I guess I called because I wanted to take back that thing I said when I left. Come on, you remember that thing about you'll regret your decision? Did I really say for the rest of your life? I guess I did. Well, that was a silly thing for me to say because knowing you, you'll turn what seems to me to be a bad idea into a good one. So I'm wishing you semper fi. What? What, sweetheart? Uh-huh. No, do you mean it?
What happened?
He says the Marines will help him finish chemistry so he can graduate high school. And he's stopping pot.
Wow, that kid has a bright future in politics.
Oh, no, that's just an associate of mine that I met on the train. Oh, was that your flight they just called? No, I'm not a great mom. I just love you so much. Oh, and one more thing. If your drill sergeant makes any requests, like drop and give me 50, just drop and give, okay? For your mother. And call me a lot, Colette. Bye, sweetheart. How can I thank you?
Well, you can forgive me for sticking my nose in.
You're forgiven, but you're crazier than any 3 of my patients.
I know, but sometimes you have to do something crazy when the moment calls for it. I learned that at a young age, 8, when my parents were just about to get a divorce.
Really?
Yeah, my parents have a great, terrific marriage now, but back then they just argued a lot. I got real used to going to sleep to the sound of slamming doors. Well, one day it seemed extra loud, and I was in the backyard, and Dad charges through the door, and he comes over to me, and he gives me a hug. And he says he's sorry, but he just can't get along with Mom, and he's leaving. Well, I knew I couldn't talk him out of it. I had to do something.
Well, what did you do?
Well, I said to him, Dad, before you leave, will you toss the ball with me? He nods and picks up his fielder's glove, and I pick up my little glove, and we start to toss. And we toss, and we toss. And before you know it, it got dark out. Mom comes outside and says, "Dinner's ready, brisket." So together, Dad and I went back inside, and the 3 of us ate brisket together while watching Huntley and Brinkley. You know, even then I realized in my kid's brain that I did something really important.
You sure did. You made your dad see how much you needed him, so he stopped thinking about his needs and thought about yours.
You're right.
And a few years ago, instead of quitting his business, you could have returned the favor. Why didn't you?
He didn't offer me brisket.
You're impossible.
Well, anyway, let's get back to Brian. You were wonderful with him. You were warm. You were supportive.
You mean not my usual bastion of right and wrong? I can be something of a bastion.
True.
My brother used to call me Granite
Now
Janet.
approaching Rock Ridge Station.
Did you mean it back then when you said, "How can I thank you?"
Absolutely. I owe you a lot. What is it?
Well, I kind of... It sounded really nice when you told Brian that I was an associate of yours, and I'd like it if something like that could really happen.
What are you trying to pull?
Don't freak. Nothing is being pulled. I just like to continue, well, rather start some sort of a friendship with you. I find you a fun person in a challenging sort of way.
Are you forgetting that you're married
No,
and that I'm married?
I know.
So what exactly did you have in mind? You want me and Warren and you and Susie to double date?
No, actually, I'm not that interested in you meeting Susie or me meeting Warren.
Smart. He'd probably tear your head off. With great pleasure, I might add. He's a huge anti-Semite.
Do you mean he's extremely anti-Semitic? Or anti-Semitic and huge?
Both. Now, have you returned to your senses?
Nope.
Will you stop? What are you trying to do?
I'm seizing the moment. I don't want to get home and then kick myself for just not telling you exactly how I feel, that I want to, how intrigued I am with you.
You mean you wanted to make a move?
No, I'm not making a move. Everything here is preordained. I mean, think of it. The two of us on this car, both of us doing the New York Times Saturday crossword, you trying to help me land a job, me trying to help you with your son, and don't tell me it's not wonderfully weird that you had a book of sonnets from Petrarch, and I love Petrarch. We just can't say goodbye at Bay Point.
Here's a dictionary. Look it up. That's a move.
Well, call it whatever you will, but can you really say that there's nothing special between us?
Well, I can't say that. I find you somewhat fascinating, like a cruise on the Titanic.
Well, good. So when I finish my crossword, which I just might because you've inspired me, and you want to know if I get that job at Banana Republic. So why don't we set a time on Friday so you can find out?
Instead, why don't I call Banana Republic on Friday and ask for the new guy, Josh? If you're there, I'll congratulate you.
Wow, you are tough. Is the anti-Semite picking you up at Bay Point?
Let's call him Warren. And no, I'm taking a cab.
That's nuts. I have a car. I can drive you home.
I think it's smarter for both of us if I take a cab.
By the way, how does Warren show his anti-Semitism? Does he burn bagels on Jewish lawns?
No, he makes nasty cracks. He's an electrical contractor, and this one time he was buying fixtures, and he told me, the supplier's price was too high, so I Jewed him down.
A classical, intolerant remark. But there is a classic way to teach a bigot like that a lesson. Have lunch with me.
Josh, you were just raving about your wife, Susie, how smart she is. She earned a master's, has a great job, but she's still not good enough for you?
It's not about that. I just find you a delightful, intellectual sparring partner.
What you're suggesting is impossible. How would we handle this friendship, as you call it?
Are you willing to listen?
No. But go ahead.
Now approaching Lafayette Station.
All right, what we have here is a win-win situation. We're using first names. Like you said, nobody's traceable. So we find a nice little out-of-the-way restaurant, and we both show up. Or not.
Or not.
And if one of us doesn't show up, the other one will know it's over. If either one of us has an emergency, we just set a new date with the maitre d'. Simple.
No, not. What you're describing is an affair, and I'm listening.
It's a friendship. We're just setting up one lunch, that's all.
That's how affairs start. People get close, fond of each other.
Oh, we will fight that. Ooh, we will keep this to a mild interest. You can't tell me that you're not even the least bit interested. A modicum of curiosity.
I don't know. Strangely enough, you remind me of a puppy that followed me home once. He had a broken tail.
Did you keep him?
Yes, but he wasn't married. And I had him neutered.
All right, that would be a deal breaker.
if we have lunch, and I'm not saying we will, what happens if we're seen by Warren or Susie?
Well, we tell them the truth. We're having a bit of lunch while discussing your Psychology Today article. We're merely crossword pals. Oh, you can't fool me on this one, Will. 57 across. Streetcar cry. Stella! Oh, I'm sorry, where were we?
We were nowhere and going nowhere. Josh, you have enough on your plate without me. I mean, empty plates at home that need filling.
Oh, I get it. I get it now. This is about me not having a job, isn't it?
Yes, Josh, partly. It wouldn't be any fun. All I'd be thinking about would be Susie working while we're out playing.
Well, Susie doesn't have to work. She loves programming computers. And I'm between positions. I'm not broke. When I was let go, well, when I was fired from Peace in the Valley, I was so pissed at Peace. I sold every one of my shares for $140. A couple months later, .coms hit the wall. Peace, it plunged to $5.
That was smart.
Oh, lucky, but I was smart enough not to go back in the market. So I bought this nice little apartment complex at the right price. I didn't even need to Jew anybody down.
Josh, I'm impressed, not just about the money, but the fact that you showed initiative and foresight and strategic skills.
Yeah, face it, I'm a hell of a catch. So do I have your permission to drive you home in my BMW with its quiet V8 engine that won't wake Warren?
Tempting, but no thanks.
You, need a little hint there?
Of course not.
It just seems that your moment of truth is turning into a month of truth.
I'm about to fill it in. I'm just double checking.
Now approaching Walnut Creek Station.
You know, being wrong would be a first for you, wouldn't it?
Just finish your own crossword, okay?
But I am finished.
You are not.
I am! Thanks to you, my muse.
Let me see that.
If you cheat, won't your victory be hollow?
Just give me that. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You're amazing. You filled it in and it cross-checks. Except you misspelled gecko. It isn't G-E-K-K-O. It's G-E-C-K-O.
Not this gecko. Read 38 down.
Okay. Oscar-winning lizard.
That would be Gordon Gecko, played by Michael Douglas in the 1987 movie Wall Street. Michael's gecko was spelled G-E-K-K-O. I noticed that weird spelling when I watched the credits. That is why you're having trouble with kowtow. If you had spelled gecko with a C, you'd have to begin kowtow, bowing deeply in reverence,
From the Chinese Mandarin, I know.
with a C. And anyone who has ever kowtowed before knows
That it starts with a K. I thought there might be two spellings.
I guess not.
You smart son of a bitch.
You know what? I'm going to take that as your highest praise.
You are something. First you introduce me to Petrarch. Then you make that crazy call to Brian. And finally you finish the Saturday puzzle before me? Congratulations, you multitasker.
Thank you. You're a hell of a muse.
A hungry muse. I think I'll take you up on that half a barbecued pork sandwich. I'm famished.
Are you sure you don't want to alert some sandwich SWAT team?
I'll take my chances. This is a special occasion.
It is. It calls for a toast.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, I just happen to have some Stolichnaya, some Absolute, and Grand Marnier. I pinched a few bottles off a Lufthansa flight. I figured the fatherland owes me.
You fabulous felon.
Yeah, but if 5 o'clock is too early for you to start
No,
drinking...
Stolichnaya.
All right, come right up.
Now approaching Pleasant Hill Station.
A toast. To fun. It's time Granite Janet had some.
I'll drink to that. But, Janet, no way are you granite.
Then what, limestone?
Why are you so tough on yourself?
Why not? Honesty is my job description.
But it's not your fault you're right most of the time.
True, especially since I was born with some rare nitpicking gene.
All right, that was unfair of me to say that.
Unfair, but accurate.
Well, I take it back. My feelings were hurt because you called me a loose cannon. Nitpicking is good. It's the backbone of education. It's how you told me to organize and cross-check and be committed and how to finish crosswords. It makes me... You're a great teacher.
No, you're the teacher. I'm the learner at the foot of the master. See? I'm kowtowing. Whoops.
Oh.
Wow, this stuff works. What an interesting mixture you are, Tom. You defy classification.
I'm Josh. Tom's taller.
Josh. I knew that. First you'll do something rash, like storm out of your family business. But then, I bet you're caringly having dinner with your mom and dad every Sunday night.
Well, that's not too hard to figure out. I'm an only child. Who else is going to show up and laugh at Dad's awful jokes?
See, that's sweet. You just glide through life, shooting from the hip, ignoring all the rules, yet things always turn out right for you. Your form stinks, but I love your content.
Who am I to argue?
Well, I, conversely, do everything right, yet things always turn out wrong.
You know that's not true.
The hell it isn't. You gonna drink that Grand Marnier?
No. You should be proud of yourself. You've established a great psychology practice.
Bullshit. I have half the patience I should have. Why? Because of my high standards. I refuse to treat patients with kid gloves like other shrinks do, asking, well, how do you feel about that? No. I insist that they have the courage to confront their problems. So they drop me. You know how few crazy people really give a shit if they're sane or not?
But Janet, you should be proud that you've raised your bar so high.
I'm glad you mentioned my bar. Because as of this moment, I am officially lowering it. And as part of my new low bar policy, I want to congratulate you for finishing your crossword. That was nice.
I love it when you low-bar me like that.
You know something? I changed my mind.
About what?
About seeing you again. I've got to find out if you get that job at Banana Republic in person.
Great. Well, I'll be knowing on Thursday. Yeah, well, Friday we can have lunch.
Perfect.
Okay.
And I can justify my selfishness because you're so much fun.
Yeehaw!
And I need fun, especially with Brian and the Marines. And I'll rationalize my guilt by thinking of you as a library book that I take out every once in a while. for intellectual stimulation. And then I return you the same day.
Or you could keep me overnight with no late charges.
No, there won't be any overnight, and you've had your one kiss. This will strictly be an affair of the minds. Still interested?
Yeah. Of course. All we need to do now is find a restaurant where the anti-Semite won't show up.
Oh, that's fine. If Warren sees us, it won't be a tragedy.
My head being torn from my body won't be a tragedy?
No. Yes. It would. But, well, I was going to wait until lunch, but why not now? Warren and I aren't married anymore.
You're divorced?
Yes, I'm proud to say. Last month, I celebrated my 6th year of independence.
But your ring?
Oh, I just wear this for privacy and to keep male patients from getting bold ideas. I call it my no-pest strip.
You're not married. Fabulous!
That's right. Your head will remain safely on your shoulders.
Well, what happened between you and Warren?
Oh, what happened? Warren was handsome and treated me like a princess. And I was in my mid-30s and wanted a baby. I knew he wasn't perfect, but he seemed so fixable. Anyway, a few months after our fabulous wedding, I got pregnant and I began to see the real Warren. He was a bigot, a control freak, and he snored.
The big three.
He never made me laugh. So I stayed married for Brian's sake until finally I asked myself the question that I ask my clients when their marriages falter. Is he or she worth putting up with? The answer was simple, no. So he's not a terrible father. He sees Brian pretty regularly.
Wow, you're not married.
Yes, it cuts the guilt in half.
You're free. How did I get so lucky?
Wait a minute. Nobody's getting lucky. Did you forget about Susie? Because I haven't.
Susie. Susie. Yeah, we probably need to discuss Susie.
Yes, let's discuss her.
Now? Oh, okay, all right. Well, you're going to think this is really funny. It's, Susie and I, aren't married.
You're divorced.
No, actually, we were never married.
You made her up?
No. There is a Susie, and she is married. Just not to me.
So all of your my wife this, my wife that was a lie?
Bingo?
Don't you dare use my bingo. You soil it.
Well, Janet, aren't you glad that I'm not married?
Glad to find out you're a fraud and a liar?
But I was honest enough to admit it. That should get me some respect.
Are you nuts? Would you respect Stevie Wonder if he said, "Hey folks, I've been kidding. I can see just fine"?
Well, I'm sorry about wearing this ring, but I can explain everything.
Now approaching Concord Station.
We've only got 9 minutes.
I'll give you 2.
Okay, the 2-minute version. You're right. I was a total idiot, and I was just afraid of marriage because I think I'd regret it. So no woman ever met my stupid standards. Till I met Susie at a party. She was cute, warm, classy. I was just afraid she wasn't smart enough.
For you?
But I wanted marriage. I even bought this ring to get used to the idea, and I'd put it on. I'd take it off. I'd put it on. I'd take it off. Well, Susie and I, we're taking this trip to London, and I thought it could be a pre-honeymoon test.
Did you tell Susie she was on a pre-honeymoon test?
Are you kidding? What kind of idiot do you take me for? Okay, anyway, we're in London, the center of culture. So I say to her, honey, let's go to the Tate and see the Turners. And she says, not in this lifetime, I'm going shopping. Who the hell goes to London to shop?
Everybody! I bought this Burberry scarf in London.
Well, oh, okay, but you probably went to the Tate to see the Turners.
No, well, okay, but just for about half an hour, till I was up to here with faded English watercolors. Then I left and went to Harrods, the most fabulous department store in the world.
Well, at least you went.
So, what did you think of the Turners? Boy, do you need help. What happened with you and Susie after that?
Well, we still were going together, but then one day her high school sweetheart proposes, but she hasn't said yes yet. I knew an ultimatum when I heard one, so I didn't budge.
Of course you didn't.
Yeah. I ran into Susie 5 years later. She's happily married. She's no longer cute. She's gorgeous. Her twins, they're gorgeous. She's got an executive position at Macy's in Union Square, where I walk by every day and I kick myself.
Oh, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. A snake who got what he deserves, who lacked the courage for marriage yet wears a wedding ring?
Look, I only wear this ring once in a while because it reminds me of Susie. I had a golden opportunity with her, but I guess I just wasn't ready. Well, I forgot I had it on until you noticed it. Then it's too late to take it off.
Another lie. You just wear that ring so you can score with absolutely no commitment, right?
Wrong! I've been scoring without commitment for years! Which I am not exactly proud of.
You're smart to be not exactly proud of that. Suddenly, I'm getting a clearer picture of why your father didn't trust your decisions and treated you like a kid. You are a kid! I don't trust you either.
Well, I don't blame you, but I'm working on it. Ever since you pounced on me, I've been rethinking every major decision I've made since kindergarten. That'll take a few minutes.
I couldn't care less. Lunch Friday is a dead issue. You are a dead issue.
Now approaching North Concord Station.
Damn it! Don't I get 1 inch of slack for admitting that I wasn't married? I could have kept my secret and had a great affair with you.
In your dreams. That's not my style.
Oh, what is your style then? Do you just give up on a patient who needs you? Didn't you drum into my little head? A crossword puzzle is a metaphor for life.
Of course, so what?
Well, then inversely, my life is a metaphor for a crossword puzzle. Is my puzzle going to be the first one that you never finished, that you gave up on? I'm a beginner. Beginners make mistakes. That's why pencils have erasers. If the mistakes aren't fatal, you forgive a little, erase a little. I'm trying to solve my puzzle, and you're my 900 number. Hello?
Damn you! You're the exact type of man full of wasted potential that infuriates me.
Well, damn you right back for making me see what a schmutt I am and not sticking around to fix me.
I am not the least bit interested.
Well, Janet, try harder. This is important. You're the woman I've been searching for my entire life. I think.
You think?
Yeah, Janet, I'm finally thinking. You seem to have everything I want. Looks, brains, class, wit, a sense of yourself. Boy, do you have that.
Did you notice you started your whole list off with looks?
Yeah, sue me, I'm shallow, but in a deep way. Everything I see, I like. You, don't have any tattoos, do you?
Of course not. Not that you'll ever find out. And I have a list, too. Are those your own teeth? Is there lots of hair on your back? Do you have flabby abs or a six-pack?
Kind of a flabby six-pack. Look, I really screwed up with Susie. But if I let you disappear, I've failed again. And in a way, so have you.
Failed? I have not failed. At least I gave marriage a shot. And since it ended, I've made a satisfactory life for myself, thank you, despite having some fairly steep hills to climb.
I know it must have been tough.
Will you shut up?
Yes, I'll sit down.
Being a divorced single mother is like walking through a minefield. Worse, if your feet get blown off, you have to keep walking and smiling and cooking and helping with homework and earning money and trying to explain why a father would cancel a fishing trip with his son to go to Las Vegas with a new girlfriend.
Can I say something?
No!
Okay.
And Brian was part of that minefield because he blamed me for the divorce. Why weren't you nicer to him? The custodial parent always gets the blame.
No.
No. And if I met someone that I liked and Brian liked and it fell apart, I'd hear, why weren't you nicer to him?
Janet, I'm down here on bent patellas, begging to get a word in edgewise. Brian's gonna do just fine. He's on his own now. And so are you. And as long as I'm down here, I'm giving you fair warning. I'm officially making my move.
What's wrong with you? You suddenly have gone from being a Peter Pan to a commitment junkie?
I know, I panicked. We're almost to Bay Point.
Josh, please get up. I've long since stopped wishing for some romantic prince to ride in or crawl up on a white horse.
Janet, no way are you over romance. You may know crossword puzzles, but I know kissing, and you kissed me like a woman who's still in the game, admit it.
That was strictly knee-jerk, with a real jerk.
I'm working on it. May I?
No?
No.
Yes?
Those are not the lips of a quitter.
True. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be pleasant to fall in love, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go gaga over every mildly attractive Jewish Peter Pan I meet on the train.
You find me mildly attractive? Then I'm way ahead. I usually squeak by in my charm. Janet, one lunch.
Which might lead to a second lunch, and then a third, and then you might start to matter to me, and then when things fall apart the way they always do...
Not always.
It would hurt like hell. And then we'd both be bigger failures.
Janet, isn't it worth a gamble? I know we have differences to smooth out. We'd both be bringing baggage to the relationship.
I'd be bringing baggage. You'd be bringing steamer trunks.
Okay, I was wrong. First wit, then looks. All right, I've bothered you long enough. I'm through. I've just got one final word.
Why am I not surprised? All right, what's your final word?
5 letters. Envious or unripe?
Green, the color.
No, Green, the proper noun. That's my last name.
You rat! The rules were no last names, untraceable.
I live in Antioch, and I'm in the book under Joshua Green.
Will you shut up?
I can't. I am out of the closet. I just wanted to let you know that I come from very good stock. My parents, Arthur and Barbara Green, own the Green Button Company. It's located in Oakland, which is also in the book.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, it's so when you want to reach me and you change your mind, which you will, every time you button or unbutton anything.
I'll use zippers.
I also want to let you know that I will be joining the ranks of the gainfully employed next week.
Of course. You finished your crossword, so you'll nail that job at Banana Republic.
No, I won't.
Of course you will.
Nope, I'm not auditioning for jobs anymore. If you want to reach me, Janet, I'll be at the Green Button Company.
Are you serious?
I've never been more so. You've turned me into a completion freak. And what better place to complete things than the Green Button Company? It's not just a job, it's my heritage. From father to son. From father to son. So tomorrow night, when I have dinner with the old Iron Fist, I'm going to say to him, Dad, remember all those things you used to tell me, like, don't go off half-cocked, and think things through, and make sure a smart idea is a great idea. Well, you know what? They all make perfect sense to me now. Then I'll say, Dad, can you toss the ball with me again?
He'll say yes. I like your decision.
That's how I know it's the right one. Thank you for creating the new Josh Green.
What? So now you're the new Josh Green instantly?
Oh, not instantly. It's taken an hour and 22 minutes and a lot of help. Thank you for your nudge with your velvet sledgehammer.
My pleasure.
Now approaching Bay Point Station.
Any final thoughts?
Yes, I must be losing my mind.
Why?
I'm writing lunch Friday, 1 p.m. with the new Josh Green.
Oh my God! There really might be a God! If you are up there, I owe you!
And Friday will be perfect because it'll give me time to read Petrarch's sonnets so we can discuss them on lunch.
Perfect! But isn't that book due back at the library?
Yes, but someone once told me that $1 gets me 4 extra days.
What about the waiting list?
It'll do what waiting lists are supposed to do. Wait.
Oh, curse me, I've corrupted you!
A bit. So, I'll see you Friday, or not. I'll make a reservation for 2, or not, at this nice little place in Berkeley.
Great! I'll be there Friday, 1 o'clock. Wait, what nice little place in Berkeley?
7 letters.
Oi.
People who drive a lot.
Commuters.
Duh. That's 9 letters.
Truckers. They drive a lot.
That's 8 letters.
Bay Point Station. It's 5:35 a.m. This is the end of the line.
Bite your tongue.
Gotta go. I see a cab out there. Please don't follow me. So long, Josh Green.
But what if I don't get it?
Weigh every word. Confidence, Josh. Remember, you beat Will Shorts on Saturday.
Damn it! People who drive a lot. Weigh every word. People who drive a lot. A parking lot. Parker's! Parker's Restaurant in Berkeley.
Bingo!
1 o'clock Friday. I'll be there.
Me too.
Or
Or
not.
not.